Hello everyone, welcome back to GK today. This is Nuzhat Sana and in this session we'll be doing the current affairs for 24th of August 2024. So now let's start with the session. The first question is, which organization developed the online platforms Prompt, Drips and Jal Vidyut DPR that were recently launched by Ministry of Power? So correct answer here is C option, Central Electricity Authority. The Union Ministry of Power has launched 3 new online platforms. The first one is Prompt, second is Drips and the third one is Jal Vidyut and DPR, okay, where the term Prompt stands for Portal for Online Monitoring of Projects Thermal and Drips stands for Disaster Resource Inventory for Power Sector, okay. What is the basic purpose of launching these platforms? Basic aim here is to improve the power sector's efficiency, and it has been developed by Central Electricity Authority under the Ministry of Power, and these platforms aim to improve efficiency and transparency in the power sector. The Prompt tracks and analyzes the thermal power projects in real time to address the construction delays, and the Jal Vidyut DPR monitors the state of hydroelectric and pumped storage projects to ensure better management, right? And Drips help in identifying and managing the power disruptions from natural disasters by linking the nodal officers and agencies, okay. So here correct answer is C option, Central Electricity Authority, and the full form of Prompt is Portal for Online Monitoring of Projects Thermal. Drips stands for Disaster Resource Inventory for Power Sector. Let's see some static facts regarding thermal power. First of all, which country is the largest producer of thermal power in the world? So this is the country China. And which variety of coal is used in the thermal power plant? So this is the bituminous type of coal. Also, which global agreement seeks to reduce the dependency on fossil fuels, which impacts the thermal power production? So this is our Paris Agreement, okay. Now, what percentage of global electricity is generated by hydroelectric power? Correct answer is 16%, okay. Also, if we talk about Central Electricity Authority, under which act was the Central Electricity Authority constituted in India? This is the Electricity Supply Act of 1948. Then what is the principal function of the Central Electricity Authority in India? Basic purpose is technical consultation and coordination, okay. Moving to the next question. Teesta hydroelectric power plant recently seen in the news is located in which Indian state? This plant lies in the state of Sikkim. Why it came into news? Because a landslide damaged 6 houses along with NHPC building at the Teesta hydropower station in the Sikkim's Gangtok district, right? And Teesta is a 510 megawatt runoff river hydropower project on the Teesta river with a concrete gravity dam, and the project began in 1999 and then it became operational in 2008, and it has been developed by NHPC, okay. Teesta river flows through Sikkim, West Bengal and Bangladesh. Also, it is the tributary of Brahmaputra river. So basically it forms a boundary between Sikkim and West Bengal, and its course includes a deep gorge through the Shivalik hills, fine. So Teesta hydroelectric power plant lies in the state of Sikkim. B option is the right answer, okay. Here if we see some static facts regarding Teesta river, which glacier is the source of the Teesta river? This is the Solamho glacier. This is very important question. Also, in which Indian state does the Teesta river originate? It originates from Sikkim, okay. Then talking about the Brahmaputra river, which mountain range is the source of Brahmaputra river? It is the Himalayas. And what is the name of the Brahmaputra river in Tibet before it enters the India? So it is known as Yarlung Sangpo there in Tibet, okay. Now similarly, if you talk about the hydroelectric power, which country is the largest producer of hydroelectric power? So it is the China, okay. Now this is all about the static facts of this question. Moving to the next one. Which country is recently hosting a conference on online radicalization with European Union? Correct answer here is C option, India. India is co-hosting a conference on online radicalization with the European Union, underscores the need to address online radicalization at international level. Talking about European Union, it is a significant political and economic union of 27 member states, mainly in Europe, And with over 449 million people and it contributing about 1/6 of the global GDP in 2022, the European Union is a key global partner in this initiative, right? So India is co-hosting a conference on online radicalization along with European Union. Now if we see some static facts regarding European Union, how many official languages does the European Union have? So it consists of in total 24 official languages. What is the currency used by most of the EU countries? So this is the euro. Okay. Now talking about online radicalization, what is the common method that is used in online radicalization? So this is social media. Then which organization monitors the global internet radicalization? It is the Global Internet Forum to counter the terrorism. Fine. And which term describes the use of artificial intelligence to combat online radicalization? It is the digital countermeasures. Fine. Now in the last session we have talked about the GDP. What is the full form of GDP? It is the gross domestic product. And how you measure it? So it is a term for all the values of all type of finished goods and services within a country's border. And now you have to tell me how GDP is converted into GNP. What has to be added or subtracted to convert the GDP into GNP? Please write your answer in the comment section if you know. Moving to the next question. Recently, which state has become the first in the country to recognize the warrants and summons served through digital means? Correct answer is B option, Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh became the first state in India to issue the legal summons and the warrants through all type of digital communication like WhatsApp, email and text messages. Okay, and this initiative only aims to speed up the judicial process, reduce the cost and improve the justice access in the rural areas. And the state undertook extensive preparation including for example developing a WhatsApp application and training the judicial officers. And now the new system is expected to enhance efficiency in the judicial system, right? So Madhya Pradesh became the first state in the country to recognize the warrants and summons served through digital means. Talking about the state of Madhya Pradesh, which is the capital city of Madhya Pradesh, this is Bhopal. Which famous temple town is located in Madhya Pradesh? It is a very famous town, that is Khajuraho. Then when was the WhatsApp founded? WhatsApp was founded in 2009. Which company acquired the WhatsApp in 2014? This is Facebook. And who are the founders of WhatsApp? This is an important question. So two people are founders of WhatsApp. These are Jan Koum and Brian Acton. They founded the WhatsApp in 2009. Okay. Later Facebook acquired the WhatsApp in 2014 for total $19 billion. Okay. Moving to the next question. Shaheen 2 missile recently seen in the news is developed by which country? Shaheen 2 missile has been developed by the country Pakistan. Pakistan successfully tested Shaheen 2 surface-to-surface ballistic missile. It is a medium range solid fuel missile with an estimated range of 1500 to 2000 kilometers. It is 17.2 meters in length and it weighs 23,600 kgs at launch. Also it can carry conventional or nuclear payloads. Okay. So the missile's accuracy is estimated at 350 meters, circular error probable, with a separating warhead that has been designed to improve the precision, right? And ballistic missiles follow a rocket powered then unpowered trajectory to deliver the payloads including conventional or nuclear munitions. Fine. Also it is transported and launched by a 6-axle transporter erector launcher, means TEL, and now it has been completely tested. Okay, Shaheen 2 missile belongs to the country Pakistan. What questions can be asked regarding Shaheen 2 missile? First of all, what is the estimated range of Shaheen 2 missile? Estimated range is 1500 to 2000 kilometers. Then what type of fuel does the Shaheen 2 missile use? So it is a solid fueled missile. Then what is the launch weight of Shaheen 2 missile? So the launch weight is 23,600 kgs, right? Then if we talk about the ballistic missiles, what is the typical payload that the ballistic missiles can carry? They can carry the conventional or nuclear munitions both. Okay. Then talking about surface to surface missiles, what do you understand by surface to surface missile? Basically they are launched from ground itself or sea to strike the ground targets itself. Okay. Also give an example of a surface to surface missile other than Shaheen 2. So this is Tomahawk missile, which is used by US Navy, right? Moving to the next question. Ethanol blended petrol program recently seen in the news was launched by which ministry? This program belongs to Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Actually, India aims to blend 20% ethanol with petrol by the end of 2025 to 26, so as to address the concerns about the fuel efficiency. And ethanol, which is mainly produced from sugarcane molasses, can also be obtained from the sources like rice husk and maize, so it is considered as a renewable fuel. That's why Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas launched the ethanol blended petrol program in 2003 to promote the alternative fuels. And this program was extended to all of India except some union territories in 2009. Then increased ethanol blending took place in 2013 to 14 up to 1.6%. Later in 2022 to 23, it increased to 11.8%. Now India plans to produce 1000 crore liters of ethanol for blending by the end of 2025 to 26. Okay. Now here, if we talk about some static facts regarding ethanol, what is the chemical formula of ethanol? So everyone knows it. It is the C2H5OH. And talking about Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, when was this body established in India? It was established in the year 1952. Which Indian state is the largest producer of petroleum products? It is the state Gujarat. And which international organization does India's Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas closely work with? So it works with OPEC, means Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, right? Now talking about the renewable fuels, first of all, which country is currently the largest producer of biofuels in the world? This is the US. What is the most commonly used renewable fuel in the transportation sector? It is ethanol. And which renewable fuel can be produced using vegetable oils or animal fat? So this is the biodiesel, fine. The next question is, who has been appointed as India's chef de mission for the Paris Paralympics 2024? This is an extremely important question. Correct answer here is C option, Satyaprakash Sangwan. The Paralympic Committee of India has appointed Satyaprakash Sangwan as the chef de mission for the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. And talking about the Satyaprakash Sangwan, also he is PCI's vice president, and now he will be leading India's largest ever contingent of 84 parathletes in across 12 sports, right? He is well respected in the para sports community for his experience and passion. Also, Devendra Jhajharia, who is the president of Paralympic Committee of India, praised Sangwan's long-term contribution to the committee, and chef de mission role involves leadership, mentorship and strategic planning. Okay, so Satyaprakash Sangwan has been appointed as India's chef de mission for the Paris Paralympics 2024. Now if we talk about Paralympic Committee of India, in which year this body was established? It was established in 1992. Then talking about Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, what is the venue? Obvious answer is Paris. And the important question is, what is the motto of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games? The motto is Games Wide Open. Okay. Now if we talk about Satyaprakash Sangwan, in which year did Satyaprakash Sangwan become the vice president of PCI? So this was the year 2018. And which sport has Satyaprakash Sangwan especially contributed to in his career? So he is associated with wheelchair basketball. And which prestigious award has Satyaprakash received for his contribution to parasports? This is the National Award for Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. Fine. Now if we talk about the president of Paralympic Committee of India, Mr. Devendra Jhajharia, the question you can be asked is, what sports event did Devendra Jhajharia win gold medals in at the Paralympic Games? So this is javelin throw. He is associated with javelin throw. In which years did Devendra Jhajharia win his Paralympic gold medals? So these are the years 2004 and 2016. And how many times has Devendra Jhajharia been awarded the Padma Shri? So he has received the Padma Shri only once in 2012. Okay. Moving to the next question. India recently signed a green ammonia export agreement along with which country? Correct answer here is Japan. India and Japan signed their first project offtake agreement for exporting the green ammonia from India to Japan, and this agreement was signed in the presence of Minister of New and Renewable Energy. Who's it? Mr. Prahalad Joshi. So this marks a key step in India's goal to become a global leader in green hydrogen and ammonia production. Also, the heads of term agreement involves Semcorp Industries, then there is Sojitz Corporation, Kyushu Electric Power, and NYK Line. It highlights India's growing role in the global green energy sector. Also, it represents the first such collaboration between India and Japan. Okay, so India has recently signed a green ammonia export agreement along with the country Japan. Talking about the green ammonia, first of all, what is the chemical formula of ammonia? It is NH3, and primarily it is used in fertilizers, right? Now here, since we were talking about Sojitz Corporation, let's see some questions regarding Sojitz Corporation. In which year was it founded? So it was founded in 2004. Sojitz Corporation is headquartered in which city? So the headquarters lies in Tokyo, Japan. And which sector is a major focus for Sojitz Corporation's business activities? So these are trading and investment. Okay. Moving to the next question. Recently, the Dhangar community of which state demanded a grazing corridor? Correct answer here is Maharashtra state. Actually, a large group of Dhangars recently demanded a grazing corridor for their sheep and goats in Maharashtra's Buldhana district. Okay, and the Dhangars are a shepherd community with a rich cultural heritage. Or not only they live in Maharashtra, but also they live in Gujarat, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. So they have historically followed specific grazing routes which are very integral to their way of life and cultural identity. And Dhangars are currently listed under Maharashtra's Vimukta Jati and Nomadic Tribes category, means VJNT category. Fine. So Dhangar community of Maharashtra state has demanded a grazing corridor for themselves. Okay. Now talking about the Dhangars, which Indian state has the highest population of Dhangar community? Primarily they live in Maharashtra, but also they live in different states like Gujarat, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Okay. First time they were mentioned in Aine Akbari. Fine. And what is the primary occupation of the Dhangar community? They are the shepherds. Okay. Talking about scheduled tribe status, which constitutional article provides for the designation of scheduled tribes in India? This is article number 342. Fine. Now moving to the last question. Which space organization is associated with JUICE mission recently seen in the news? First of all, the JUICE term stands for Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer Mission, and correct answer here is B option, European Space Agency. Okay, so the JUICE mission has completed a unique lunar Earth flyby to gain momentum for its journey to Venus and then Jupiter. The mission explores Jupiter and its moons named as Callisto, Europa and Ganymede. Fine. It is expected that they might have conditions which support life. JUICE was originally launched in 2023 by the European Space Agency, and now it is expected to reach Jupiter by the end of 2031 after an 8 years of journey. So this mission marks the first ever lunar Earth flyby combined with a double gravity assist maneuver. Fine. Talking about JUICE, first of all, what year was JUICE launched? So it was launched in 2023. And how long is JUICE expected journey to Jupiter? So JUICE is expected to reach Jupiter in the next 8 years, most probably by the end of 2031. Okay. Which moons of Jupiter is JUICE set to explore? So JUICE is set to explore Callisto, Europa and Ganymede moons of Jupiter. Fine. Talking about European Space Agency, in which year this body was established? So it was established in 1975. Headquarters of European Space Agency lies in Paris, France. And which notable space telescope was launched by European Space Agency in collaboration with NASA? This is the Hubble Space Telescope, right? Talking about the Jupiter's moons, which of the Jupiter moons is the largest one? So this is the Ganymede, which the JUICE mission is about to explore, right? And which moon of Jupiter has a subsurface ocean which is believed to be salty? This is Europa. Callisto, which is one of the Jupiter's moons, is the third largest moons in the solar system. It is true or false? So it is obviously true. Callisto is the third largest moon of the solar system. Fine. So this is all about our today's current affairs, and now here we'll be moving to revision part, where we'll be discussing total 3 categories. The first would be national current affairs, second would be government schemes, and the third would be business, economy and banking related current affairs. Let's move to the first revision slide, that is national current affairs. Which state government recently initiated the rice fallow management project? So this project belongs to Odisha. Teesta hydroelectric plant is located in which Indian state? Just we have talked about this question, and correct answer is Sikkim. Bureau of Police Research and Development that was recently in news comes under which ministry? BPRD works under Ministry of Home Affairs. What is the theme of India Mobile Congress 2024? The theme is the future is now. Okay. Mata Deri Pera and Pachra recently got a GI tag, belongs to which Indian state? So it belongs to Tripura. Recently, National Commission for Women signed a memorandum of understanding with which security force to control the human trafficking? Correct answer here is Railway Protection Force. And last is, which two institutions recently signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen the cyber security in India? These two institutions are Common Services Center CSC and United Service Institution, means USI. Okay. Now our second revision slide is about government schemes. The first question is, Sikkim's Inspires program is assisted by which multinational institution? Correct answer is World Bank. Which ministry is responsible for implementing the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan scheme that was recently seen in the news? So Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan scheme is associated to Ministry of Labour and Employment. Madhu Babu Pension Yojana is associated with which Indian state? This scheme belongs to Odisha. Recently, which state government has launched Him Unnati scheme to boost natural farming? Him Unnati scheme has been launched by Himachal Pradesh so as to boost the natural farming. One family, one identity scheme is associated with which Indian state? Correct answer is Uttar Pradesh. Digital detox initiative is associated with which Indian state? Correct answer is Karnataka. And what is the primary objective of Unnati 2024 scheme that was recently seen in the news? So basic objective of Unnati scheme is to develop industries and generate employment in the northeastern region. Okay. Now the third category is the business, economy and banking current affairs. The first question is here. Recently, which state was ranked as the best performer in the Indian startup ecosystem ranking for 2022? This is the state Tamil Nadu. According to the National Council of Applied Economic Research, what is the predicted growth rate of Indian economy in 2024 to 25? As per this research, the Indian economy is predicted to grow at 7%. Recently, which Indian company signed a memorandum of understanding with Norwegian firm to implement floating solar power technology in India? This is NHPC Limited. Recently, which company has become the third largest silver producer globally? This is Hindustan Zinc Limited. What is funding winter? Recently seen in the news in the context of a startup. Funding winter is a basically term that is used to describe a period of reduced capital inflows to the startups. Next is Burp tax, recently seen in the news, was introduced by which country? Burp tax was introduced by New Zealand. Recently, Adani Green Energy Limited has secured $400 million green loan for its under construction solar projects in which Indian state? So they have secured this much loan for their under construction solar project in the states of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay. So this is all about our revision part as well. And now in the next slide, I am giving you some questions as a homework, and all of these questions belong to defense current affairs. So please carefully read all these questions and try to answer as much as you can. Also, if you want to support us financially, you can consider joining us. Now we'll be meeting tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.